All right, stand for the pledge.
I'm for the meeting.
Carol?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Oh, somebody screwed my chair up again. I think it's done intentionally, but I get it. Anyway,
Oh, that's because council was here last night.
yeah, man, they must have back problems or something. I mean, anyway, this is our 20th meeting of the year. It's Thursday, May 16th, and my watch says 10:05 a.m. and it's the year 1924. 2024.
You wouldn't even be here. I mean,
I had a Biden slip. Give me a break. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said that. Okay. That being said, we have Stand, Grow, and Thrive. We have Karen Guerreri here representing Judge Delick's office. And I guess we are celebrating the Week of Hope. And would you come forward and tell us what that's all about? Thank you.
So Stand, Grow, Thrive Mahoning Resiliency Movement is a coalition of a number of community partners, organizations that come together and talk about ways that we could dispel myths around trauma and support increased awareness and opportunities for resilience. One of the initiatives that we have focused on the last few years is recognition of and support of Hope Week. And Hope stands for Healthy Outcomes from Positive Experiences. We recognize that a lot of mental health and substance use issues often stem from early childhood adversity. And so the Hope movement, the Healthy Outcomes from Positive Experiences movement, is one of the ways that communities and schools and other entities work to try to offset risk associated with childhood adversity. So we thank you guys for considering the proclamation. During Mental Health Awareness Month and Trauma Informed Care Awareness Month, and especially today on Mental Health Action Day. We're very excited that you're considering this.
Thank you.
And Carol is going to
Well,
present
we're all
the-
going to
Okay.
present a resolution to you and tell the judge she can hang this in her chambers.
We do anything Judge Delick wants us to do because we're afraid of her.
Well,
Congratulations.
thank you.
That's recorded.
Thank you.
Judge Delick is amazing.
She is, and a huge
Congrats.
advocate for mental health.
Judge Delick is probably has the heart of the children. I'm going to
She
say it
does.
that way. And if she can help somebody, that's what she does. So God bless your report, Judge Delick, and you and your administration.
Good, thanks.
Thank you.
Tell her we settle up.
Oh, of course. And I brought some things for you guys as well. Good to see you.
Thanks.
And Ally's on camera.
These are ours.
Yeah, I brought
Okay.
it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Put in your thing, yeah. Two.
Oh, thank you.
All right, thank you, Carol. With that being said, we will move into public comments. Your name and address for the record. How you doing, Jimmy? Good.
No, you should at least bring breakfast or something, you know?
It's very selfish of me. Well, good morning. Jim Tressa, Senior Project Manager and Estimator for Rudzik Excavating, 401 Local Road, Struthers, Ohio. I'd like to start by letting you know, at 11 a.m. this morning, I will be on the Dan River Show. And I invite you each and all to call in for discussion. Call in, let the public know how this mandate is in the taxpayer's best interest. 729-9977. In the last couple of weeks, the county has bid 4 improvement projects. 2 of those projects have an apparent low bidder that are union contractors, and 2 have apparent low bidders that are non-union. Interesting point about this is the union contractors are the low bidders on the non-PLA projects, and the non-union contractors are low on the PLA projects. Rudzik is the low on both PLA projects, the apparent low bidder. So where do we go from here? Ultimately, the Mahoning County taxpayers deserve to have their taxes spent responsibly. The engineer's estimated construction costs for the two projects that I was low bidder on, the estimate combined for a total of over $2.8 million. Our final combined bid cost to complete these projects is under $1.8 million. It's over $1 million of the county's own funds that were planned to be spent on these projects that can now be used to improve the county elsewhere. Compared to the lowest union contractor, we saved the county over $440,000 on these two projects. So at this time, the county has an extremely qualified contractor that submitted pricing, saving the taxpayers over $1 million compared to the engineer's estimate. What could be done with $1 million? Hoping the county has another shovel-ready project that could be funded by these savings. Let's work together to better the county. Once the bids are reviewed by the engineer's office, I'm hoping to have a swift award so we can get these improvements underway. We look forward to continuing our already successful relationship with the county, and as always, we appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Next.
Ryan White, Western Reserve Building Trades, 291 McClure Road. I want to thank the commissioners for continuing to use the PLAs. They hold the contractors accountable. They promote accountability for Mahoning County and the taxpayers. The workers should never be held for the profits of companies through prevailing wage violations. These entities that are claiming to be saving the taxpayers money are doing it on the backs of the workers. And I just think that that needs to be something that we need to look into. When you sit here and say that you're saving the county money, what about change orders? Are we looking at how many change orders are coming through? I know that the Burgess Run Interceptor bid, there was an entity that was $570,000 and some change. The estimated bid was $1.432 million. That's about $970,000 off the estimate. I just wonder how that could be done, performed at that cost. And if that's so, then we should hold that contractor to that price. So thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Next. Name and address. Good morning.
Good morning, County Commissioners. My name is Reverend John Michael Oliver, Executive Director for the AA Wellness Agency, 139 East Boardman Street, Youngstown, Ohio, 44503. Thank you so much this morning, allowing me the brief presentation to explain about the AA Wellness Agency. We represent here, we are presently in 18 major cities across 12 states, but right here in the city of Mahoning County, we serve as a liaison and advocate of awareness. We have every year our Mahoning Valley Men's Health Wellness at the Cavelli Center. It is free to the community. We provide at no cost health screenings for men and women. We have kids play area, giveaways, raffles, and so much more. But today's presentation, introduction, we are more than a walk. We have 8 local initiatives that we help the residents of the Mahoning County to be holistically well-rounded, from financial literacy, mental health. This is Mental Health Month. We meet every month, every 4th Thursday at my office, and we deal with mental health awareness. Academy for Urban Scholars High School, accredited college. Again, my presentation today is not to build a resume or just seek for funding, but we're not here to compete. We're not here to reinvent the wheel. We're here to collaborate with change. And every citizen of the Mahoning County is welcome. This is an at no cost event. So today, my seek is the support of the continued support of this council and the commissioners. And if anything may be available in the future for adequate funding or discretionary funds, that's really where my point is today, is to let the city know we are more than just a walk. We're really here to help collaborate with the community of change and making sure each county resident is holistically well-rounded. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Do you have, just gonna ask if you had any pass-ups.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, County
If I
Commissioner.
would have known you before and you'd have got here just, I'd had you do the prayer. I'd had you do a prayer for
Thank you,
us.
sir.
Maybe next time.
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, Reverend. Next,
This is driveway.
he lost 100 pounds.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Heidi Smith, Controller at Rudzik Excavating, 401 Lowville Road, Struthers, Ohio. Just going kind of back to what Brian was saying as far as change orders. It makes it sound like union contractors don't have change orders. They do. I worked for a union contractor. It happens with every contractor. But however, last week, a change order was submitted to the county for the North Lima slide repair. This change order was a deduct change order. The final cost is lower than what the actual contract value is. So just because there's change orders doesn't mean it's going to add to the job. It could make the job lower. So I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Next. No. Okay. Thank you very much. That being said, we'll move into our regular portion, business portion of our meeting and motions, Carol.
Motion to approve the approval of previous minutes of board meeting number 19, Thursday, May 9, 2024, and approval of bills for payment.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Advertisement for bids number 1, engineers. Pat
Morning,
Willis.
everybody. Number 1 is the advertisement for the traffic signal maintenance bid.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve advertisement for bids number 1.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Legal notice number 1, grants management.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is
Morning.
morning. Notice of public hearing number 2 for the Community Development Block Grant, which the Commissioners have selected their projects, and we're moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Motion.
Motion to approve legal notice number 1.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Journal entry number 1.
Motion to approve journal entry number 1.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Agreements A through D. We'll begin with domestic relations. Dawn, good morning.
The domestic relations board respectfully request approval for a contract. We have two systems to upgrade the board's sound system. I know Mike and Brian are here. Over the years, we've been trying to all kinds of experimentation. We're trying to upgrade the system because it's difficult to hear. And we finally believe we've got the answer with these people. So that contract is $29,697.84, and it will be coming from court special projects.
Thanks, Dawn. JJC.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is an agreement with Third Space Action Lab for professional services and training in the principles and philosophies of racial equity and inclusion under Category 2 of the Competitive Reclaim Grant in the amount of $53,245 non-general fund.
Okay, thank you. Recycling, Lou.
Morning, Commissioners. Item C is our drop-off lease agreements with these 3 respective communities. We're coming in the tail end of this, and only a few more lease agreements left. And item D is a recycling agreement with City of Youngstown and Smith Township to host tire drives in those respective areas. So we will be having 3 tire drives this year in Mahoning County, and we will be covering the eastern, middle, and western portion of the county, so everybody gets an opportunity.
Thank you, Lou. Carol.
Motion to approve number 2, agreements A through D.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes, change orders A, B, and C, and that's all lead. Phil.
Hi, it's Mary Ellen, actually. Good morning.
Hi, Mary Ellen.
Change order is a change order at 1040 Alameda. It's a decrease in the amount of $300. They removed the installation of a new storm door. Letter B is for a negative change order at 415 Sanderson in the amount of $1,025. This one, they removed the installation of a new pre-hung storm door. And the third one, letter C, is with Howland Company. It's an increase of $2,955 at 5881 Mill Creek. And they did several things. They hung a replacement window on the first floor bath. They did this treads and risers on the overlay on the Luan. They did a double hung replacement window in the bedroom number 3. And they installed a front porch door.
Okay, thank you. Motion?
Motion to approve number 3, change orders A through C.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati? Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Resolutions, number 1 additions?
Motion to approve resolutions number 1 additions.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Regular bids, A and B. Sanitary, Pat.
Commissioners, letter A is the record of bids for the Lake Milton Water Line Replacement Project, which is improvement number 513. And letter B is the record of bid for the Burgess Run Interceptor Sanitary Sewer Replacement, which is improvement number 531, phase 1.
Okay, thank you. Motion?
Motion to approve record of bids A and B.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Resolutions A through F. Audrey? Or, I'm sorry. I
Good morning.
apologize.
That's okay. A is a resolution to approve the MOU with Austintown Township and the engineer's office for the road and infrastructure sales tax project in the amount of $763,254. They're going to be paving approximately 29 roads and about 575 square feet.
Wow.
Or they already have.
That's great.
Wow, thank you, Jen. Convention visitors? Megan.
Right here.
There she is.
Item B is a resolution authorizing a sponsorship grant for the Simply Slavic Festival that'll be taking place June 14th and 15th in downtown Youngstown in the amount of $2,500.
They don't have halushki or pierogies there, do you?
No, none. I mean, you might be swimming in those down there.
I'm married to one of those, you know, so I get it when she's makes it on a regular
From a
basis.
maiden name of Sovic, I get it.
That's true. That's true.
It is good food there. I've been
Oh,
there
yeah.
many times.
You know, my wife's maiden name is Streaky, right? And I said, how's that a Polish, hunky, Hungarian, Slovak name? And she goes, well, when my grandfather got here, it was Straslavsky or something, you know, and it had some name with, you know, one of those 14 letters and no vowels. And she said, and when he came in on the boat or wherever he came in from, they said, now your name's Streaky. They changed his name. Changed it. So,
That's a good,
you know, we lovingly refer to them as hunkies, you know. When I say that, you know, people say, hunkies, what's a hunky? And I said, you just have to be from Youngstown. No, it's not a negative. It's just a slang thing for Hungarian, Polish, Slovak, you know, that's all the good food. That's why I need to lose weight all the time.
Well, Rips Bar and Struthers, they used to have the hunky
They
platter.
still
They
have
do
it.
there.
That's
I
what it
got it the
says.
other day.
They still have it, yeah. And the bad thing is my wife has got that celiacs now and she's gluten free. And so she doesn't make anything with flour anymore. So
What
it's
do they
like,
have down at that,
Rips,
at Rips?
hunky.
yeah, they have, it's called the hunky platter.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
Stuffed cabbage, halushki.
I mean, I know we're way off
Yeah.
base here. but-
Yeah, I'm sorry,
How
we
is the
digress.
food? I've never eaten there.
The hunky
Oh, the
platter
hunky
especially
platter
is very good.
Spent the time in Briar Hill.
I spend my time.
Yeah.
You know, but my wife says all the time to me, what's the difference what I make? Because you put red hot Parmesan cheese and ranch dressing on everything. So it all tastes the same. So it's like red hot.
And he's still
And I
alive.
tell everybody,
Yes.
put red hot, try coleslaw with red hot.
Oh,
It
that's
is the
delicious.
best.
I
Wow.
like that.
It is the best.
Or hot peppers. You got a little Italian in there.
I'm starved now.
Moving on.
All right, let's get back on track.
Are we going down there at lunchtime? Is that the Slovak festival going on?
We'll put the date on our calendar to go down there on the 14th and 15th.
All right.
You gotta remind us.
All right.
All right, moving on. Dog warden, Diane.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Item C is a resolution of the appointment of a new kennel canvasser for the dog wardens department.
Okay, thank you. And grants management, Anna?
Good morning again, commissioners. Item D is a resolution to modify Resolution 2310-015 with the Ohio Department of Aging for the Healthy Aging Grant to increase the grant in the amount of $11,836 for a total amount of $819,000 with no local cash match required. Item E is a resolution authorizing the submission of grant application for fiscal year 2024 grants under the Community Development Block Grant Program in the amount of $672,000 with no cash match required.
Okay, thank you, Anna. And sanitary, Pat.
Commissioners, letter F is a resolution approving a 5-day unpaid suspension for one employee of the department.
Right? Motion,
Motion to approve number 3, resolutions A through F.
Second.
roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Okay, and for the good of the order, any elected officials or department heads care to comment?
This is so quiet in here today. It's nice. Which is very nice. I'm not complaining. Quiet is good.
Dave, Carol?
I don't know, we have a full day. We'll be meeting with our legislators at 1:00 right here to discuss letters that we've sent. Dave could elaborate on the letter.
Property taxes.
Taxes and things like that.
What kind of bills that the legislature is presenting or discussing to rectify the problem that they've created with the property taxes?
My big deal is to bring back, and I would come, Jerry, because this is probably something I'm gonna drive home, is the homestead exemption. I will never get over the fact that legislators that represent seniors in their districts that are 65 and over, probably the age range went up, that they should not receive the same percentage of homestead as it was before. It didn't impact anything. And they decided to cut that on the backs of the senior citizens that have worked in our valley, whether it's Mahoning County, Cuyahoga, Summit, for how many years? And I just don't think that's fair. And that will be my main question, probably with 2 other ones.
Well, the other thing that's the most impactful is the DeRolf Act that say 20-some years ago stated that the state can no longer put the funding of schools on the backs of property tax owners, or property owners with property taxes. And right now, the average bill is 70% funding the schools. You know, in other states, the state legislature has initiated ways to fund the school systems without it being predominantly on the backs of people that, you know, in my case, you know, I've been paying property taxes, never had a child in the school system. I realize it raises our property values, so I always support them. But there's so many people that not only are senior citizens, but have no children in the school system that pay property taxes 72% on my bill, you know, of you know, hefty school system funding mechanism that should be and is funded through the state and many other states. You know, and if California can cap on Proposition 13, any of your property taxes going up more than 1% a year for the life you own your home, you know, that you can't get into these windfall situations that the state takes money off of us. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see, number one, if any of them show. Number two, if any of them have done anything
We all
impactful.
had a yes.
Impactful.
Yes.
So you know what?
All yeses.
Everyone that has a yes, all of a sudden, you know, John Doe's standing there and, oh, I'm here representing, you know, Senator such and such. I'm here representing, you know, state representative such and such, you know, well, okay. You know, the 3 of us are here representing 240,000 people that pay too much in taxes. So that's what we're here representing.
Yeah, and I agree with, you know, Dave and Carol. You know, the problem is you don't want to see people priced out of their homes. We all want our property taxes and our property values to be strong. No, nobody's saying that. Nobody doesn't want to help the schools. But when you have an inflationary housing market and the state legislature, the Ohio Department of Taxation knew this and saw it coming, there is no watchdog group to meet and say, hey, wait a minute. You know, there's a reval coming. We've got to adjust this because people are going to get soaked.
Yep.
And people in this community got soaked pretty heavy. I'm in the real estate market, and believe me, my taxes went up. Thank God I can afford to pay them. But what about those individuals who cannot do it? And I'm going to say this today too, Carol. I think anybody who owns their home and who has obtained the age of 70 should never have to pay another property tax again. I think the legislature needs to do that. They need to look at the homestead exemption. They have to do something to claw back these rates, because what's going to happen next time? If the property values fall, are they going to lower your rates? I don't know that.
City went up 57%.
It's like, right, it's like the gasoline. We're at 350 right now. Do you really think that number's going to actually go back down? It could, but we're stuck there now. So the next time, $5. So we get used to paying $5 a gallon. Same thing with property taxes. But when you have seniors, 60% of this community is retired. They don't have the ability to go out and get a side hustle for more money. They are stuck into their pension or whatever they've saved. And now they have to take that money, more money, and put it towards property taxes. And this is why we're bringing the legislatures in here today, say, hey, you guys got to wake up down there. Somebody has to see this. And as Dave says, rose-colored glasses, 100% correct. So we've got a lot of good questions today in our meeting to see if something can happen in Columbus for that. So we look forward to that meeting. Okay.
Yeah, very interesting.
David?
Yeah, no, and just,
All right.
you know, when I built my house 30 years ago and actually started in 89. You know, when I was very fortunate, you know, in 86, I bought a piece of property that's against Meander that was $6,500, you know, and then in 89, I started pounding nails myself and built my house. And, you know, and I had a house that basically I built for $76,000 over a 3-year time period to move into it. Today, I pay close to $600 a month in property taxes, you know, which is outrageous that, you know, it's going to be close to $6,000 a year or in that neighborhood. And, you know, and when I got my first house, you know, people talk interest rates. Oh, you can't afford to buy a house because of the interest rates. In 1980, when I bought my first house, the interest rate was 18%.
Yes.
And my house payment was $248 a month. And that included all my taxes and everything in it, you know, my property taxes and everything. And, you know, when we fail to realize that when you're talking about working people, you know, that back in the 60s and early 70s, your house cost about a year and a half's annual salary. We bought our house on Bainbridge or on Ayrshire, built brand new for $15,000 in 1968. You know, and people were making, I don't know, $8,000 a year, $9,000 a year. So 1 or 2 times the value of what you made in a year was what you paid for your home. And a third the value of what you made in a year was what a car cost.
You're
right?
exactly.
And in today's world, people fail to realize that if you kept up with the cost of living as a worker, you should be making $250,000 a year to equate what was going on back in the 60s and 70s. You know, but you know, corporate America, you know, the CEOs are making 30, 40, $50 million and the workers are still scratching for $15 an hour. You know, and no one can afford. And then you got these big companies from overseas that are buying up all the homes in all the lucrative areas.
Yeah.
They're buying hundreds in Charlotte and Dallas and everything, and then they're forcing people to rent. You know, and it's just crazy. And we're going down a slippery slide. It's, you know, going to create a situation where no young people can get a job and afford a home. And we're fighting to keep our people here in the valley, you know, create good jobs and opportunities. And, you know, and it seems like we're working against ourselves, you know, with the state. You know, they're more worried about what restroom somebody goes into or who they marry or, voters' rights, civil rights, women's rights. They're taking away everything and doing things on the backs of the communities. Let's get the gas to $2 a gallon. The world goes around on the price of gas and your food costs, and so let's work on things that have an impactful decision on how we live on a day-to-day basis, not things that, they want to put a spin on in national and state politics. That basically, how many of us sit down at the dinner table with our families and discuss that? I'm confused when I walk in. I was driving home from out of town yesterday and I'm confused when I stop at a gas station and got to go to the bathroom. I'm standing there looking, I got to make sure I don't walk in someplace I'm not supposed to, and it's just, it's crazy stuff.
Well, no, I agree, Dave. It's crazy. I know how we can reduce the gas prices. President Biden would come out and say, we're going to start drilling. Watch how quick. Watch how this economy changes. But on another note, I still get the itch once in a while to invest money in the real estate. So last year I was looking at a place in Poland and I thought it was a duplex that was for sale because there's 2 units that are for sale sign in the yard. So I go over there and talk to the realtor and I says, well, okay, how much is this? And she says, $365,000. I said, oh, okay, for both units? Oh no, just one. I went, what? Just one. I was buying buildings, 4 units, 6 units at the time for less than half of that. So I got a real sticker shock when I went back into the real estate market. That's how inflated. And believe me, they weren't worth that kind of money. I could build 1, 2 of them for the price of that. But that is how this market became so darn inflated. It was shocking. So I don't know how people could even afford that. And then the rent, one of them, was $2,500 a month.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
And they're getting it. I'm telling you. So it's nuts. But anyways, conversation. Brian.
I'm looking actually to buy a new home. The finance guy told me that my credit is so impeccable that it's actually not a benefit to me, believe it or not.
To buy.
Because it holds me at a higher interest rate than somebody that's in, more like a 580 or whatever credit score. And I'm like, how could that's crazy. So I've worked all my life, been a steward of my community, taxpayer, always did things with my hands, worked my whole life. And so I'm being penalized for that. And that's how I look at it. I'm like, that is crazy. He said, if I had a lower credit score, my interest rate would be around 5%.
So we got to work to lower our score.
7%.
Is it 7?
That.
I'll miss a few bills a month.
Months ago, it was
Lower it
at
down.
7%.
7%.
Oh, that's crazy.
Jesus.
Talk about piss you off.
They shouldn't be allowed. That should be illegal, actually.
It's crazy.
You're not
It's
a credit
crazy
risk,
world. And I get it. Hey, I agree with that. At least I can pay it. And I'm fine with that because there's a lot of people out there that are hurting. But I just feel like I've always done everything in my life the right way and always worked. And give me a break, man.
no breaks.
Normally,
no free lunches.
Normally they make it more difficult for people that are in lower income brackets and more difficult because they jack the interest rate up sky high on them to try and get their money up front, which is terrible because the people that can least afford to pay it are the ones that have to pay the most, which is a travesty, and to me, they should put every credit card company CEOs in jail. I mean, to permit somebody to give you a credit card or a bank card or whatever that charges 24 to 34% interest is a friggin' loan shark. My wife has, she retired from Macy's with 38 years and she has a 25% lifetime discount on everything she buys at Macy's. But you can only get her discount when you put it on your charge card. And their interest rate is 32%.
That's crazy.
So I make it a point, I tell her, don't buy too much because we have to pay this off every month, and because you just you lose your discount and then some, and you should never be permitted to charge more than double what the prime interest rate is, which in and of itself is enough. I mean, what's the prime now? It's like 7 or something. I mean, so if they charge 14%, that should be the most that they could put on the backs. And then what really gives me the red butt, you know what I mean, is if I pile the bills on my desk and forget to send one in and I get a late charge.
Yeah.
I go $30 because, and the bills are like $18, and I tell my wife, quit doing this, because I got to write a check out because I write checks out and I got to send it in and I get charged $30 on a late fee and I call up and complain. I call up until I get that offer. I'm going to cancel the card. And I've canceled a couple of my wife's cards, because I got mad. There was a late fee.
Killed you.
And she's out someplace trying to use her card. They said, it's been canceled. And she comes home going crazy on me. Did you get in a fight with somebody on the phone again? I said, maybe, I don't know.
I mean.
Anyway, I can tell you stories
unusual.
forever. I better stop.
No, it's good
And
subject.
credit cards entice people too. Hey, I'm gonna give you 2% back, but they charge you 3% to use it. So you're still giving them 1% of whatever
Yeah.
you're charging.
They're gonna make money either way. It's like the casino.
And a lot of people that are not good with their finances, they don't understand that. Like,
Yeah.
it's not free money.
No, it is not.
It's like the IRS. They penalize investments. Think about it. Federal tax code penalizes
Okay, we
investment.
gotta, yeah. Next meeting?
Okay, that's a good topic. I'd like to get more into that. But anyways, Holly, when's our next meeting?
Next Thursday, May 23rd, 2024 at 10 a.m. here in the Commissioners' hearing room.
Okay. Motion,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yep.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes, thank you.